Online course and for-profit knowledge sharing have become widespread in China. An increasing number of students are reconstructing the knowledge and skills they have gained in whatever manner they would like to take. Rather than accepting a certain set of courses from school, the young generation has grown fond of accepting and sharing all sorts of things they have learned, advocating for the truth, longing for the extraordinariness, striving and striking hard for the success. All these ideas have become a common sense among the current generation in this nation. In China, adolescent group aged from 16 to 25 has taken up 17% of the whole population, with 2.25 million people in total. This age range has across the senior high school freshmen to the doctors, who are mainly the students in the non-compulsory education system. Inside of the current Chinese educational system, this group comprises the people who are tested by the examination-oriented education system to get access to higher education. Being tested is an inevitable option for most of them, and that is core reason of them focusing on so many different kind of exams before getting exposed to extensive knowledge. From the year of 2006, I started teaching English in the biggest private school in China. The subject I taught could vary from Gaokao, as we all know Chinese SAT, to CETs, to master's entry exam, and to international English test. Hundreds and thousands of youngsters were once my students. From the year of 2013, I had my first try with online teaching mode. Within the help of the online platforms, the expanse of my students further extended. One of the English vocabulary books I published became a huge seller with more than 1 million copies sold in just one single year. Every year, I spent over 4 months touring universities out of China and giving more than 150 public lectures to my students and readers. I talk and share my ideas with them face to face. Besides, every now and then, I will communicate with my students through some public online lectures. Through these activities, more than 1 million people could be reached and get to know what I'm doing. Some of my Chinese students gave me several nicknames, just like 富科生手朱主任 or 葫芦娃. It was my pleasure to give the students a little bit of giggles during their miserable examination preparation period. After the battle in the gutters alongside them, I wanted them to remember to look at the stars. From the year of 2015, I started to share the things that I think are interesting to the students by massive self-learning, preparing, and reflecting. Master work study, public speaking skills, music appreciation, etc. Those things are never opaque, but the basis for an integrated personality and a charming spirit. Along the journey, I opened my heart, expressed my feelings, shared my views as I wish and like. The students could feel my genuine sincerity in my talking and listening to them. Last summer break, I posted a Weibo, a Chinese tweet, inviting students to go for a study tour in Harvard University. Students were invited to sit in Harvard classroom, to live in Harvard dorm, to explore if there is anyone studying at 4 a.m. in Harvard library. Of course, no. I can still remember the night when my students and I watched in French Les Miserables, or Les Miserables, in Broadway, New York City. Before the opera started, we spent a whole afternoon in the hotel learning the script word by word, sentence by sentence. That night, all the students understood most of the plots and immersed in the scene. I happened to see another tour group from Asia was in the opera. With all the people being absent-minded and snoring, Most probably because they didn't even know what the actors or actresses were singing or talking about. At that moment, I thought I really understood how does it feel to let the students have a look at the stars. Lifelong learning makes the best living experiences. As a teacher, I can only be the company. Teachers who only do the teaching work, but the value sharing, can never touch the deepest part in a student's heart, not to mention influencing a student's mindset. These years, I have had cooperation with the best online platforms in China. I have spotted a quite interesting phenomenon. That is, no matter where I am, and the students follow. The picture has become clearer that the time of valuing a certain online platform has passed and the new era of knowledge has begun, as we, the intellectuals, have always been longed for. The era has come in the light of intellectual property. Before this awareness emerged, I was pretty satisfied with what I was doing. Teaching, online teaching, publishing, and stuff like that. As a matter of fact, stuff like that gave me annual income of more than 10 million RMB. It's a very big number, you know. But when I saw almost 1 million students learning hard with me and following me, I can't be like this anymore. I wanted to invite people just like me, super IPs, the intellectual property holders, to join the big picture. I started a new company by the slogan of We Learn. Having more than a handful of the excellent IP holders just like me, I guess they hate me to the guts because I forced them to quit their tedious work in traditional education system and encourage them to explore more interesting academic fields to the students. These teachers can start a course with a carefully designed syllabus, followed by a series of matched textbooks, which may be all written by themselves. The course and the book are not just two different forms of presentation, but a pair of perfect complementation. The media by the intellectual property holders is what bridged between the course and the book. In order to build up the communication fast lane between the IP holders and the followers, the IP holders are asked to have a developed and a strict plan of posting new ideas or videos or just a bit of their own life by their We Media, or another name, self-owned media. The followers can never feel like being far away from the IP holders with the help of We Media platforms. We would always like to utilize the forms of music carnival or talk show with online live streaming in the new book or course presentation. The experiences have given us the best way to shape a successful IP holder. The concept of a teacher has also extended to its maximum. My company would only offer opportunities to those ones who are dedicated and talented with the best potential in their expertise. Earlier this year, after 10 months since we started our own journey, the company has estimated to be the value of 120 million by an independent capital markets authority in Shanghai. You can see those books are all written by our authors and teachers. The time for this company to be a teacher is yet to come. We shall not crawl about taking up the glorious duty of promoting education in China. What we truly believe is the better education and better value for common people shall be achieved with our best intention. The things we are focusing on are being humble, ruminating the knowledge word by word, analyzing the exam patterns sentence by sentence, handing over the joy of learning to the students. Soon, we are going to have our own dictionaries with more than 40,000 context explanations of the lexical roots and affixes. More than 1,500 hours will be invested to the complementary online videos explaining the context of each word and each sentence. Hopefully, the dictionaries will be made to the very first visualized dictionary EPPs in the history soon. We have picked up the English master works from the dusted bookshelf to hand over the beauty of languages to the students. Each sentence reading, each historical or cultural context explanation become our salute to the classics. We took our students to the US and Australia to a baby step on the learning experience of a new language, culture, and lifestyle. We have done our research on over 300 TED Talks to armor the students with the best expression of their ideas, thoughts, and feelings. When I see the future, I see a time when everyone's potential is encouraged and recognized. And it's not beautiful with just from me. Many other teachers here are also making their best effort to make sure that everyone shares this opportunity. We all know the very big, great guy, Connie Gibson, who owns the honor of TEDx Yaqu Lake, is a great model in this field. What she has done for the English education will always be remembered, cherished, and continued. Her 15 years passionate and dedicated words and deeds will always inspire us, the followers. We would love to see the education keeps its pace with the contemporary society. We would love to see the education keeps its pace with the contemporary society. We would love to be a sorter or creator of knowledge to help the students construct their own learning mode. We truly believe that teachers will not be the speakers but the doers that students need on their way to success. We share with the students the success and failures that we all can learn something from. We are the paths who are there with the students to do lifelong learning. We are all students. We do believe in the power of we learn better, we live better. It's one of the slogans of my company. When we are creating, selecting, forming the best culture with the help of the internet or online education, it would be my honor and my duty to push it forward. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you.